decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. It creates a new world to mind a shift, intentionality, perceptuality, conceptuality. We are choosing to shift our mind to best for the world, best for our world. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional.
Hello and welcome home, guys. I am sitting here together with Gabrielle and Anna, and today we're gonna have a conversation about coming back home to yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, and we have been traveling down here to Lomma today, a little bit nervous about how this conversation is gonna go, what we're gonna say.
My nerves are coming in right now.
Yeah.
My heart is pounding.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, can we just start with a deep breath together?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Maybe 3.
Yeah, maybe 3. Let's do that. Yeah, a lot better.
That just took my pulse down immediately. No, I'm cool. That's good.
Yeah, because it is a bit nervous to start talking in a radio.
Yeah.
Just like this. We're coming out from our personal quarantine that we had last night at Gabrielle's apartment. Well, we're trying to get back awake. We woke up quite late today.
Yes.
Yes, had a proper ladies' night.
2 hours ago. Yes.
Yes, yep.
To
All
be
right.
real.
Mhm. So we're coming back to ourselves in this very moment. And the reason why, when Stellan asked me what kind of radio show that we wanted to create, and the reason why I chose Welcome Home is in all of the conversations that we've had during when we have been broadcasting Best for the World, I have noticed that the red thread, like we say in Swedish, I don't know if you say that in English, but like the common thing that I found very interesting that showed up in every single conversation that we had was that everything starts from the inside and out. So I thought the welcome home for me is a symbol of when you welcome yourself back, all of you, even maybe the parts of you that you are not always proud of, or that you want the parts of you that you want to highlight, maybe your darker parts or your weaker parts, and that's a part of it.
Yes.
So I was going to start off with what do you guys think about when you think about welcoming yourself home? Where do you?
I think for me, it's about everything being, I guess, being in the moment, but also, being okay with every part of, like you said, every part of myself, and that's not always easy. It's we all have, like you said, parts of ourselves that we're not very proud of. I don't know, we don't want to recognize ourselves as that person or that person that does that and goes into that maybe dark place, maybe anger when it comes out in bad ways, I guess, and being recognizing that and being a part of that too. I guess that's the hardship about it. I don't know. Did that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So right now I'm struggling with what do I want to do you say convey? What do I want to like in this moment, how do I want to be seen? But I should just lay back and just be me.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
better. But yeah. And I think that many of us sort of go through life all the time thinking about how do we want to be seen more than what am I?
And what do
I
I
think-
want?
Yeah, what do I want? Where do I want to be? It's more. It's become more important. How do I want to be seen than who am I? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Anna?
Yes,
To
you
what
put
place
that
does that take
so
you?
well. It was
Yeah.
kind of, oh no, what am I going to say now? It's a bit, for me, it's about acceptance. Because when you're in that constant struggle of, I am this, but I'm not allowing me to be this. Because, like we talked about yesterday, we talked about the different kinds of people. Either you're the box, or you want to be better than your box. I don't know how you put it. I don't really remember. But I'm rambling.
You're doing great.
I'm so nervous, and I feel my boobs are coming out, and I just
Oh, it's good for everybody.
so bad shirt for this. Yeah. For the record, it's yours. Yes.
It's fine.
It's about acceptance. It's about
Yeah.
ending the constant struggle of you are this, but that is not good enough. You have to be something else. Even if I'm being a lesser person and more, yeah. It's about accepting all parts and just being cool with it.
And that's so easy to say, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a completely
Yeah.
when you're actually gonna do it. It's like an emotional roller coaster. Life in general, I'd say. For me, it's been a journey to be able to where I can stand today more safe in that like chaotic place where sometimes I do feel insecure or weak or like I'm not enough and all these things, but to allow myself to feel that way. So it's been the welcoming home for me has been about, as you say, acceptance as well.
Yeah.
And accepting that we don't have to be perfect at all times.
No, really.
Yeah.
Almost never.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What do you guys do to get out of that bubble of, just being true to yourself and live from your heart?
That's a hard question.
Do you have any
Practices? I do yoga.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say we have not introduced ourselves
no.
yet, right? Me and Gabby were coming, and Anna as well. We're coming from home yoga and wellness studio, and me and Gabby were yoga instructors, and
I'm your pupil.
yes, Anna comes in with us a lot. She's a music teacher, and so we do have some tools for this.
Yes.
Coming from the yogic background and life coach background. So, what would be your what's something easy you can do? You move.
Well, I move energy in every way. I like to move energy and fast. And like we talked about before, I'm most comfortable in situations where things go fast, boom, boom, boom. I get asked questions and I will usually just say yes to any kind of like this. And I feel best I think I do best, and maybe it's that I'm sort of not, I don't have the time to start going into the mind. So when I am in my mind and start questioning things and start questioning myself and why do I do this and all, when I lose home, my best way is to move energy, like physically move energy, in yoga, but also like all other ways, actively feeling, because when it goes fast, it's easier for me to just block my mind out, I guess.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry. Is it easier because you don't have to face it? Is it sometimes that you run away? You
Yeah.
move your energy away because now this is too hard to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Mm.
Yeah. But it's also, well, yeah, I
Mm.
guess that maybe it starts out that way.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of an example.
Mm.
So I think my biggest, my biggest struggle, well, right now and for a while have been, well, for a long while I guess, have been that I'm struggling with not being seen or not being a burden.
Mm.
That's that's emotional for me.
Mhm.
And when I feel myself getting into that, when things go fast, I don't have time to think about it. I guess, yeah. So partly, yeah, but also when I physically move energy, I think it allows me to not overthink things. It allows me to step back and just, I guess, laugh about it in the end. But absolutely, yes.
And it's just life.
It is.
I was not home in the car earlier when I panicked about this and took myself so seriously.
Mhm.
And these feelings are mine and they are valid and I feel this way and I want to go home and I don't want this because I'm not good enough and I can't give anybody anything. And just like feeling that process, and when you step outside your thinking mind and just look at yourself, and then I am home.
Mm.
So you wanted to run away from this situation.
Yes.
So what made you change your mind?
You?
There was not even an option, right? It's like, oh, we can stop the car here on the highway. I can walk home. Från Lomma, liksom.
No. Yeah.
But what it's about is also when you're back home, and in the same way that you are, like when you're with yourself, for me it's also about aligning. It's the head, it's the heart, and it's the body. Because your body, like the body as in your actions and your how you behave or what you can see in the physical aspect, and the heart is the emotions, and the head is your thoughts. And out of these elements we have, the head can move both to the future and to the past, but the rest of your body cannot.
Yeah, so that's why.
So that's when we get trapped, right? When the head goes to the future or goes to the past. And
really
for your
real.
case, in the car, like going straight to the future and straight to the failure, like I will sit there, I don't know what to say, I have nothing to offer. And while your body is here, getting back to, wait a minute, I'm not there yet. I'm still in the car, We're still talking about this. There is nothing to panic about yet, right?
No.
So aligning yourself and getting back.
Mm.
I use breath work a lot for this.
Mm.
Sometimes I can be a bit, I was about to say lazy, but it's like, life happens this quickly and you say, oh, I want to have an hour of yoga or personal time and space and I want to do pranayama and I did this exercise and then, like life happens and you end up with like, oh, I have 1 minute. Okay. But even if that, those days that is just, okay, I got 1 minute, then I just sit down and I breathe down to the belly.
Yeah.
And from that place it gets
Clearer.
easier because just in one breath, as you practice, maybe just one breath. In the beginning, maybe you need a couple of them, but after a while, just one breath can align you and get you back on track. So what would be the, what is there to gain?
From coming
From
home?
from actually being comfortable in your own skin and
everything, I guess.
in whatever situation life is, because that's something that I admire a lot in people, that you get a sensation of, you feel secure and life just gets easy somehow when you're with people when you get a sense that people are being themselves.
Mm.
It gets easy to connect. It gets
Yeah.
easy to avoid misunderstandings and
Mm.
to be able to connect on vulnerability.
Mm.
I think, sorry,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Anna.
because that is what we all want.
Mm.
We have this idea and bring all this fussiness and this extra layer that you don't really need and nobody wants it, but you do it because everybody does it. And when someone, like a friend yesterday, was just looking in my eyes and asked me about work, I think, and I felt the question, who are you?
Mm.
What do you want? When someone is very real with you and lets their ego go, you just,
You sit down.
yeah. Like after a deep breath, you just,
Mm.
that's so nice. And sometimes you go, I know people that go through life without ever thinking about this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're just unconscious
Mhm.
about this. And for me, it's like, it's easy to do that because I know how to do it,
Mm.
but I can't anymore because
Mm.
I've experienced, the real conversations and the real connections.
Mm.
And
And the questions are so important
yeah.
because depending on how you phrase your question, that's going to be the answer that you get.
Mm.
So I remember when I started in the coaching path, one of the questions that came to me was not what do you want to work with, because I guess that's a question that we kind of start early on
easy
in life.
question,
You know,
yeah.
what's going
What
to
do
be
you
your
want?
profession?
Yeah.
What's going to be your work? And that's a very narrow question,
Yeah.
right? It focuses very narrow, and changing that question to how do you want to live
Mm.
broadens it.
Mm.
And from that question you have so many more possibilities to think, and the creativity that can take you of opening up the questions like this, it's incredible.
We put
And-
ourselves in boxes. Like we put ourselves in boxes. Okay, so I am this, and I am this, and I am not this, and often that's kind of what we think that we should be. Maybe like also we're in our 30s. We're supposed to, or the boxes can be okay. So you should have children, or a husband, or be on that path. But maybe, yeah. I lost my thread. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that the boxes what you talked about, the boxes, we put ourselves in them. And maybe they feel safe, I don't know, or maybe they feel like in the meeting with another person, maybe sometimes it's easier to sort of explain yourself or, yeah.
I mean, we
Explain what you
we
are.
are
Yeah.
living organisms.
Yeah.
We always want to save energy.
Yeah.
Of course, let's do what's safe and familiar. But let's do what I did yesterday. Let's do so I don't need to think about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a physical mechanism within us that it's and within all living creatures.
Mm.
Mhm. Homeostasis. Isn't that what it's called? Homeostasis? Can I think? Homeostasis?
I don't
I
know.
don't know how to say that in
What is
English.
called that?
Homeostasis.
Yeah.
The function of
okay.
saving the energy and getting back to
Oops.
always getting back to status quo.
Yeah.
So I guess it's why are we talking about this? Why is this important? I guess that's where we are at in the conversation, and the importance to bring this out of a broader perspective. I think when we're talking about the shift from the perspective of trying to be best in the world and shifting it to be best for the world.
You become more part of when you're sort of home and not put yourself in those boxes. You become more part of the community, I guess. It's easier to be part of the community, and I think that is maybe what's best for the world, that we see it.
And it's the
group.
I think the mindset of wanting to be best in the world is coming from scare. Do you say scare?
Fear?
Rädsla. Yeah, so fears. It's coming from the base where you need to kind of show everybody. You need to climb the pyramid, you know, show everybody that you're worthy. Become something. Become the best in the world. Because I think our mind has created this illusion that on the top, when you're best at something, then you're successful, and then that is going to make me happy. But it's like a direct manifestation. But what I've heard and what I've experienced personally is many times when we fix this, you know, I want to be best at this, I want to do this, and sometimes when we get there, then it doesn't feel the way that you thought it was going to feel.
No.
And you don't, like, you put up this, I want to do this, you have this goal, and you think that that's going to make me so happy. Those physical things, or to achieve this and become that.
Yeah.
And then in the end, when you get there, it's like, oh, okay, and now I have a new one, right? Now I have a new top I want to climb.
Yeah.
And it's like this hamster wheel that never stops. And
What's the other side of it then? If you want to, well, I get it. I know, and I feel the other side of it. But is it possible to explain that? Can we explain that?
I would say the other side of it is where we are heading. What I sense is heading in the world. There is so many different words depending on who you speak to. The love revolution, this paradigm, whatever you want to call it, spiritual revolution, or but is I think everything that you have inside you, like if from the inside and out, everything that you have created on the inside, that's, you know, your external life, that's the reflection of that. So I think if you create a space within yourself where you are, what's the English word, full, you're whole, a space where you're not needing to fix anything, you're not broken inside, you're whole, and that's the moment when that reflection turns outside. So your external life has a feeling of being whole and complete.
And that was the thing about being whole. You triggered something in me yesterday when we spoke about who personal growth was for.
Leadership energies.
Leadership, yeah. And you said you have to be whole, you know, to have what is it called? Not a psychiatrist, but
the difference when you who you should contact, if you contact a life coach or a psychologist.
And you talked about being whole, and I was triggered because I felt I'm not whole. I have flaws, like those were the same thing, but they're not. It's just like I have all these flaws, and I do these mistakes, and I am wrong in so many things. But of course I'm whole.
Yeah.
Because I accept those things, and I sit with those things and feelings.
And I think it's also a part of our beauty, isn't it? Our craft.
Yeah. It is.
Definitely.
That's often what you fall in love with when you fall in love with a person, I guess. You fall in love with their flaws. You fall in love with everything, like their quirkiness. You don't really fall in love with what they're perfect at. Right?
Well, after 6 months, that's when it shifts.
Yeah.
I know.
Then you start to see their flaws for what they really are.
Right?
Yeah. That's when conflict happens. Yeah.
And from that place of being fully yourself and accepting yourself with your flaws, exactly the way you are, from that place, it gets easier as well to start giving back to the world. Oh, ska jag fortsätta prata? Ja, okej. It gets easier to give to the world.
Yeah.
And I think that is for me you know, love goes in two directions in a way. You have the love that comes in this direction, that comes from or giving, you know, from you to the world. So I love you, and then you have the love that you receive, or the things that you receive. And in my world, when I compare these two, we're still naming it love or like contributing, but it feels for me very different. To receive love, it feels nice, you know, and it's like, yeah. But when it comes in this direction, when I am the one that it's bigger and it's more powerful and it's accessible anytime, whenever you want. You have love here because it's in this direction. It's nothing that you know.
Yeah.
And it's very fulfilling to contribute. I think that's for me what creates meaning in life. To be able
The
to
only true happiness, really.
Yeah. Are we on here, Stellan? Yeah. Should I put this on? Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Sorry.
Well, when I'm thinking about what you're saying, I totally agree. But I do have, I don't know, maybe a question as to what your you can see it that way, that okay, so giving love in every way that it is, to give love in all those ways, that gets you a lot of love. When you talked about receiving it, that you don't feel it as much or
as strong, or as I don't feel it the same.
Should you? I don't feel it the
I
same
almost
either.
I want to have two different words for it.
Yeah, but I totally get it. But should we feel it? That's my question. Should we feel it the same? Or are we just, why don't we feel it the same? Why can't we feel that just as much?
What do you mean now?
I mean, is it? Are we constricting ourselves? Are we not feeling like the love back as much because we think we have our flaws, because
We're not receiving it.
Yeah, we're not receiving
even
it.
if it ends
Yeah.
up. Yeah. Possibly.
Yeah.
I've been afraid of receiving it. That's for me also the reflection of your inner world.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you can receive. If you can receive fully love if you don't have that love for yourself within first. Because, you know, if someone comes up to me and calls me, let's say, calls me a nasty word, or gives me a bad compliment. If that isn't true, if there is not an ounce of truth within me that what this person's saying is true, then, you know, then I don't care. You know, this person just called me, I don't know, a bitch, or, you know, it's like, it drops off me like water. But if someone would take something like, oh, Alex, you have too much energy, or you're too much, you know, like I can feel like, oh, this is a little bit true that I have a lot of energy. Then it's like, it hurts because, but it's not the other person that is saying it, you know, it's because it's already true within me. And that's the whole inside and out aspect.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think this shift truly is where it starts is within each and every individual and each and every person. And when we get inspired, when we allow ourselves to Stellan, jag tror den här small igen. When we allow ourselves to, am I on? No? Eller? Yeah? Sorry. I kind of lost my thread there. Train thought of train.
The trains.
Should I take
Trains
this
are going
off
in
again?
every direction. No.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
Have it here.
Love.
Okay, so you will have to pick me up now, ladies.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you
Okay,
fall,
I
I'll
want to
pick you
go
up. I'll pick
back
you up.
to home.
Yeah.
Yes. And I don't know what I'm going to say about it, but I feel like how can you put that in the perspective of coming home and welcoming you home?
All right. And also what we were talking about, the physical aspect of this, that a lot of people is physically getting not back home to themselves, but actually getting back home in their, maybe being in quarantine in all parts of the world right now. And that kind of, it's scary.
It is.
To be home alone
Yeah.
with the doors shut.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
It is. I've been. Well, I'm not. We're not in quarantine in any way, but so I'm studying. So I'm studying now, like in the university, and we have distance studying now. We do it on. We don't go there anymore, and it's been like not even 2 weeks of sitting at home, not meeting people when I study or when I do the work that I have to do. It is hard. It's been, for me, it's like it's been 84 years. It feels like 2 weeks. It's, yeah. 'Cause I wake up and I have to like make all the decisions. For me, there's nothing like there's no time frame pulling me. Like, okay, so I have to leave then, so I have to do this before.
Yeah.
Which kind of leads me. Yeah. It makes me sit with everything that is.
Is it a lot of distractions at the home?
It is.
Metaphorically, I'm thinking, like the physical home, it's so easy to, do the dishes and make a little clean when you're supposed to maybe do something else.
Yeah.
And that is, if you look at the inner world of how it works on the inside, it's a little bit like that, right? There is so many things going on the inside. There are so many things you could be putting your focus on at the same time. So where should I go? Your thoughts is like, your feelings is here, your sensations is here. Like it's,
yeah. It's well, and the weird part is that it's not like I every day before I was at the university, but it was still easier for me to, when I was home after being there, to get focused and study or do the work that I had to do. But now that I'm home all day, I wake up and I don't really have to put on clothes. I mean, I don't really have to do my hair or shower or anything. I could just lay down in the sofa and watch some TV or something. Yeah. It's harder. It's weird.
It has to be very hard for someone who likes to be with your energy and move, and you're stuck.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so I'm not very efficient at home right now. I have to be honest. I'm not. I haven't. It's been very hard for me to kind of reset, and also I think the part that we don't really know. I guess there's a metaphor in this too. I'm getting there. We don't really know. Well, for how long is this gonna be? Is it gonna be for a month, 2 months, 6 months? We don't know. We have no answers, and that is that can be a trigger point, I guess, the not knowing. And the metaphor in that is that's the same thing inside. Well, with everything, when you don't really know. Yeah, the uncertainty of things.
Well, I must say I'm loving this. This is so insane. I might say something now that you don't know about me, but I mean, my lifestyle, to be honest with you, is not that different. Like when I try to be more at home, like I'm realizing, like this whole last 2 weeks, because I didn't have a lot of meeting books and these kind of things, so I usually work at home. And I'm like sitting there and people are talking about quarantine, and I'm like, wait a minute. I think I'm normally always in a quarantine. I'm isolating myself. It actually brought me to my awareness that, oh my God, maybe I should meet more people. That's, what I landed in, that I don't feel like I have been changing my routine so much. I isolate myself a little bit too much, I think.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Why? Do you get work done? or are you like me?
Should we talk it under the table
One day last week, I sat and I sat staring at my computer for like 45 minutes, and then I decided, I might could just put on some makeup, and then I did like a party makeup at home.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my efficiency level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to be alone. I like to retreat. I'm very slow, like everywhere. In everything I do, I'm slow. You know, like I'm like
You're not slow.
I feel like on the inside I am slow. Like if, for example, if I will take a yoga class, I've noticed all my life I've always been 1 or 2 steps behind the class, always. And I'm thinking, why am I always 1 or 2 steps behind? Always. But it's something about, I like the comfort of that. I like it when it's like a little bit slower, like I can breathe and I can like have the time to land and these kind of things. And that's how I also show up in everything. So I like to, and at the same time I can be very quick and very spontaneous as well. So it's hard to know the difference, you know, like, but I think it's about how I just perceive the world. Like for me to really get the information, I need to listen in slow motion. I need to, because that's the space where I can connect with all of me, and not just experiencing life from and just getting in my head, you know, and being stuck in my head and having that as the only output. And that for me takes time to connect with my body, my emotions, truly in ground myself in a situation. But when you say, you know, why do I isolate myself? I truly enjoy my own company. It's like, honestly, I like to be alone in that sense. And then I think maybe it gets easier because, and this is the part where I say to myself, now it's time for you to go out and meet people, or to book this lunch, or to go on a network meeting and these kind of things, because when you meet other people is the moment when you get a reflection of yourself. That's the mirror.
Yes.
Right? Because it's not the things that trigger you, and you know, it's easy to be like, oh, you are doing wrong, or pointing the finger to everything that it's an external, or you get frustrated because someone doesn't know how to drive their car, or whatever it is, you know, all of those things that you it's really about, it's not about the other person, it's about you. You don't see the world the way it is, you see the world the way you are. And the bigger understanding we have of our own, I was about to say emotional roller coaster, but like our own internal world, and our emotions and the thoughts and the body, and all of these tools that we have from the inside, and then it becomes easier to just handle life gracefully. Right? Because we all have been in those moments, I think, where we react quickly, and maybe we say something that we don't really mean, or it's like when you take a step back and when you wait a bit, it's like, you know. So that's where I want to challenge myself to, even if I enjoy being alone and I love to be creative or create stuff with my hands, or create a yoga.
Take care of your plants.
Yeah, I love my crazy plant lady here. Love my plants. Do these kind of things. So for me, it's like a meditation. So it's like, but I have decided to challenge myself more with relationship with other people, because it gets so comfortable to just be alone without any mirrors, without having the issues or these kind of things that can come when you have relationships, and you meet a lot of people. So.
Yeah. But are you also because I feel like I'm almost enjoying that people have to sit with themselves, because I think that after this mess,
Yeah.
And it's horrible and of course very serious, but I think we are going to gather as new people, because we had to find our roots, because you can't sit and be unconscious and anxious for 2 weeks at home by yourself.
Have you noticed? I don't. Is this just me, or have you noticed that? Like I have noticed, like when I walk on the streets right now, it feels like people are smiling more at me. They're like, hi.
They're extra nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
people are like kind of, oh, okay, yeah, you're okay too, yeah. So I'm okay too, yeah, good. And like, I maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm smiling more, like to be nice, but and getting the same back. But yeah.
You can really feel the sense of community is more powerful, stronger right now, and it's beautiful. I don't think we have been like globally as well disconnected in this way. I don't think I've experienced that before in this sense. So it's a very interesting time and moment in the history. And as you say, I think this is going to have huge impacts on things that maybe we're not necessarily right now. Maybe we don't know what they're going to be, of course, but I think they will be on a very transformational level from the individual, like from the inside and out. When we are going through these quarantines or welcoming home, like going back to your homes physically, and having that time, right? Like those questions we were talking about before. Like, it's one thing to ask yourself the question and opening up the question. The other stuff is that you have to do it. Like, you have to take the time to do it.
Answer the question.
Yeah, take the time for retreating. And this, I would say, is well, for some people it's like it's not even a choice, right? This is the opportunity to truly retreat into yourself.
Yeah.
But it's at the same time it's scary to I don't want to sound negative, but I realize how many things we are doing wrong and are prioritizing and on a governmental level and on a personal yes,
Some Swedish in there,
yeah.
and on a personal level, and it's like, wow, we aren't home at all. We're just in this process of I want to be at the top of the pyramid and I want to be the best, and not focusing on the welfare and like we should. Do you know what I mean?
Focusing on the wrong stuff.
Yes, I think, yes.
Well, I think this stuff is what's right now creating the friction in our community. That's this friction that wants to shift into something else.
You use that to...
I mean, it's a process, right? Of how we kind of, how we get from A to B. And I think I notice in so many different areas and field, I can notice this shift happening. And I think this situation with the coronavirus is something that is stimulating this very much. It creates this opportunity and reason for people to rise up, to connect, to do it together, and the small things that is. It can be a detail, like you said, like smiling to a person and just nodding and saying hi, which in Sweden, for those of you who are listening that is maybe not Swedish, that's a big thing. That's not that common in Sweden, that you look at people in the eye and you say hello to a stranger. It's like we are a little bit more restricted and maybe not seeking that much contact in a way that maybe other cultures does.
That is also interesting, because I think that is what's saving us. That is what stopping it from being
spreading
as
it
bad
in
as
Sweden.
In example, Italy.
Yeah.
Because we live by ourselves and we don't get into anyone's business and we don't. It's not in our culture to take care of our parents. We have so different cultures, and that really shows, I think.
Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about this as well. When you're going through the news and you're going through and thinking, what is happening in different parts of the world, and you start thinking, how can it be? Why is Italy going? And listen to this kind of experts, and what I land in is this difference of our values and the culture that we have. And when I think about Sweden, in one way, maybe it's because when you have stuff, it's easier to not to be grateful for it, right? But it's really nice to have the freedom and individuality and these kind of things that we have in Sweden. But like there is some part of my heart that gets so sad. Like there's a deeper part of me. Maybe that's the animal, like the deeply rooted in the tribe, like it just feels like we're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Because we're missing the whole thing. Like we're missing the
root.
Yeah. Like it's this is it. Like it's the relationships, it's the people around you. It's not the hamster wheel or the top or the necessarily, right? This is it. And so I get like this sad feeling when I think about how the Swedish culture in that aspect is navigating. Sometimes that it's so easy to reject people just because they doesn't fit how you want them to be, or you have an argument and it's so easy to just be like, okay, now you're out, next. It's like it's so fast. And I think sometimes when you live, I can imagine if you live with a family and that's it, you live together with your grandparents, and you have this community in the household, there are going to be some things that maybe you don't like, but you're not going to discharge them. Like in Sweden, I've met a lot of people that, no, I'm not talking to my mother, or I'm not talking with my father. We are not friends even. That it's gone that far. I think sometimes, or families end up together for a reason. Yeah. We are here to heal each other, and we are here to teach each other something, and we all need to listen to each other harder to do that. It's
very
easy to
annoying.
right?
I love my family, but
but they can trigger a lot in us.
And they have since you were born.
Mm-hmm.
They've been, with siblings fighting, and parents, of course, and they sort of unconsciously set ways in us, I guess, that we just keep on going if we don't look in and go home, I guess. Yeah, it
can
be annoying.
Yeah, and it can be also lovely. Yeah, it can be
mostly it's lovely.
Mostly it's lovely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the idea of everything is supposed to be good, and when it's not, I'm going to get rid of it, or I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to just sit here and accept it. And that's life. It is hard, and relationships are hard. But we're so rich and so privileged that we have the opportunity to, when you do not like something, you can leave, because you can live for yourself.
Yeah.
And you can support yourself, and you don't need anybody else.
No.
And unfortunately, it's when you do have to go through those challenges or the hardships, the stuff that it would be easier to take this road, but you know what? I'm gonna do this because I need to do it. And the feeling and emotion you get after actually doing something that you maybe have been procrastinating with, or something that that feels heavy just before you do it, the feeling afterwards, the reward afterwards is so much bigger than if you just it's easier to lie on the couch and do nothing. That's really the fulfilling, I would say. What is creates this fulfillment when you can prove to yourself that I can do it. Cold showers are awesome for this, guys. Wim Hof. Wim Hof made it. Cold showers and deep breaths.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at cold showers.
No?
Nope. Yeah, I'm trying, but it's very hard for me. It's too cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at it,
But you're good at getting in the ocean.
Yeah.
It's winter. Yes.
yes,
Or
that
swimming.
yeah, that's much easier
Yeah.
because it's the ocean. And yeah,
Mm.
I guess I have it. I don't feel like I have a choice when it's there, when we're there and kind of
That's it.
Yeah,
Uh,
but when
Mhm.
when I'm at home, I can just turn the heat on.
All right.
Yeah, just do something that's easier, I guess.
As I've been practicing, the Wim Hof method is about cold therapy. So you swim in cold waters, or you take cold showers and these kind of things. For the audience that doesn't know Wim Hof, Google him. Do that.
Yeah.
He's
YouTube.
yeah.
When you've been practicing that.
When I've been practicing it, I noticed that before I took it seriously, like went to Google, read about who he was, what is this about, when I just heard it from someone, I go, cold showers are good for you, I'm gonna take a cold shower. I tried once to do it before I started for real, and it was terrible, like really terrible. It was like I was standing in the shower and I was like and it was cold. I didn't enjoy it. It was, why am I doing this, And I went out and I was and I didn't do it again, of course, But then when it circulated back into my life and I actually decided to, okay, I'm going to do this for real. What was the difference was I saw when he was talking in a show or something, and I could see in his eyes, that and I could see when he went into the ice bath or these kind of things, that there's this switch, in your mind. When you just, I'm going to do this. And when there is no question about it, there is no, I could turn off could turn on the heat. When that option exists, it's like, it doesn't feel as nice, right? Because you could be over there, and over there it's nice and warm water. And then at the moment you're here and it's shitty, right? So it created when I practice that muscle from the inside and out to just, I'm doing this and I'm gonna love it. Like I told myself, it's gonna feel so good because I know what's happening. I know that I will get a adrenaline boost and it's gonna be cold the first seconds, but I just need to breathe deeply, one breath at a time. I can even count my breaths and just, and just stay with it. And since that, the whole experience has changed. Like I'm enjoying my cold showers in the moment when I'm doing them, and not as before. It's like, why am I doing this? It's the exact moment when I switch I have this moment. I can see the tap in front of me, and I see my hand, and I go, okay, all the way, and I just take this. That is the moment that is the hardest.
Yeah.
And then the moment you have.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to go all the way,
Mhm.
I guess.
And these are the kind of exercises I would say that just in the same way as you physically can get stronger if I make a bicep curl or if I exercise my shoulder or do squats. These are the kind of exercises that we do on our muscles on the inside, in our home, right? And
Being present,
Mhm.
actually exercising
Mhm.
meditation in different ways.
yeah,
Seeing it as, I've been seeing it more as that too, I guess. I mean, it's about just like I have to do all my physical work to stay in shape. I have to practice meditation too. It's not just something that comes. It's a practice.
yeah.
It's a workout.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Decision every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hard though. Yeah, it is.
It is so easy to, I think, it's so easy to slip. It's so easy to just one choice. If you go down this is the comfortable saboteur way talking to you, the part of you that is a little bit, and then it's so easy to get into that energy zone, and then you cheat on yourself, right? You start. So it's, I think, to find your tool, how to snap back of it, and immediately choose yourself, choose to do that thing that might be initially a little bit like, that's going to be harder, but to go through it because the reward of doing it makes you feel so good about yourself. And when we fall and we slip, then it for me this is when the judger come inside, you know, and this is when it's not so much fun anymore to be a human being, right? But the good thing about it is that it takes a second and you can recover. Like you can snap back the switch of I'm choosing this.
It's hard sometimes.
It is hard.
It is hard sometimes.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, the option is there always to snap out of it, but it is hard. It is, even if you do the practice, it's hard. And I think that's what it is. It's going back and forth on the scale of being here or not being here, and I think that it's. I think that it's that's also part of being balanced, I guess, going back, and I mean not judging yourself, but going back and forth on that scale, and sort of, because it will be that way. We can't. I don't think that it's possible for us to always be aligned and well, it's
present.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
I mean, we have between 60 and 70,000 thoughts a day.
Yeah.
So it's like
How can you
95% of our body is are unconscious. So or
how can you possibly be aware of all of that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exhausting even thinking about. I guess, and I think that you kind of I'd like to take it as, you know. Well, it goes back and forth, and it's fine. It's okay that it goes back and forth. It's okay to kind of fall in the deep pit, and to sort of cry when you're about to do something that's really scary, and or I mean, if you judge yourself, sort of see, okay, so now this is happening. I'm judging myself. This is what's going on. Okay.
What are your recovery tools
From that?
Yeah, just like when you're falling and you feel like, oh, I'm going down to a pit here. What would be your switches or recovery tools to get back to giving yourself? Yeah.
Yes, because I only have one. That really works, and that is sit with it and let it be. And accept. I've tried many of them because more often than not, I'm finding myself slipping down. And it's not helping me, cheering me on. Come on, Anna, get up, do something, because it's just more pressure, and it just keeps on spiraling down. So I have to sit and let myself spiral and be that, and then eventually it goes away. Of course.
I think it was Matt Kahn who said something like, when we are going through a life crisis, and we are not present, that's what we call a depression. But when we are going through a life crisis and we are present, that's called an awakening. Or like, it's
because it
standing
is part
in
of
it,
being alive.
going through it.
It is. It's a big part of being alive. Just sitting with your thoughts, and I guess for me, my always coming back to my thoughts and my all of this spiraling. That is my thoughts. That's not me.
Exactly.
So I can look at them, and I can even feel like the ramifications of them, and feel burdened by them. But it's not me, because they pass, and I don't pass. I'm here. I'm still there, because they come and go. The feelings, they come and go, and I think that's my tool. Just coming back to, okay, so this is going on. I guess it's the same thing, sitting with it. I don't know. I guess it's the same thing. Just knowing that it's here, but it's not
all right.
defining me. Yeah, it's not defining me, and it's not forever. I guess.
Yeah.
What's your tool?
Wim Hof. Yeah, sure, definitely. That feels amazing to wake up in the morning and take a cold shower, and you're like, "Wow, all right, here we go." But I would also, this to sit with things. I sometimes, emotions and like this navigating from your heart in life. It's not. It doesn't necessarily happen over. It doesn't happen like this, like in a switch. It's a process, and sometimes I think our emotions need to transform in the process. Like maybe you start off with anger, but that anger then transforms into frustration, and the frustration transforms into sadness, and that turns into getting very tired or something like that, and then etc., and then maybe it turns into happiness or strength, or so to really sit with what's really hard and the emotions that is a lower frequency that we maybe don't necessarily want to feel that much, or most of us don't want to feel the low frequency emotions. That is like when you're down here and when you're like low down, it's like that's turning into the fertilization that is like then helping you to come back up. And it's like I'm thinking about a heart, those machines in the hospital, a respirator. Är det så de heter? This line, right? That's life. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down. When it's flat,
you're dead.
That's it.
Yeah.
So sitting with and accepting, but just taking a look, feel your thoughts. What am I thinking about? Where am I? What does this mean? What does my body want to tell me? All of these things. That also like gives you the opportunity to call out your own bullshit. This is the moment when you give yourself the time to sit with the shit, and you're like, okay, what is a part of this? When am I choosing the easy way, right? When am I not honoring what I really want to do in life? When I'm not honoring this? Often we always know, right? The problem is not that we don't know. Right?
My ego comes back every once in a while. It does, yeah. But I guess for me it's also about not taking myself too seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, my mind says stuff to me that is it tells me life is so serious sometimes. But it's I mean, I'm not. It's not. It's here to do it. Just be it. And I think not taking myself too seriously. I think that's a big tool for me too. Laughing at it. Joking about it, being honest about it, my fears and my ego.
Yeah.
Being okay with it.
This one is also, it creates the spark of life, right? Not taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah.
I think for me, I have a long time I've been like afraid of in some aspects of life, when you procrastinate something that you want, sometimes I've started to like not take myself seriously. When you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, and it just continues, then finally that word that you say, it becomes like you don't trust yourself when you say that you want to do something, because
like you undermine yourself.
It's like if you haven't done it before, then even if you like, it's your integrity to be honoring your word and what you want, and honoring your heart and these kind of things. And so for me, the Wim Hof shower, actually for me, the whole symbol behind it, like what I feel like I'm practicing when I'm doing that, is to just go through whatever it is. Like when you say stay with your emotions, for me the Wim Hof shower is to just stay with it, go through it. It doesn't matter if it feels uncomfortable somewhere in this process, and all those emotions during the 1 minute cold shower is changing, right? In the beginning it's and maybe 30 seconds in it's like, oh, this actually feels nice. In the last second it's like, okay, now it's painful or whatever. But it's to stay with just those minutes in the shower is that process, like a physical exercise to practice on it. And when I do that every day, that's when I remind myself to, like, what do I need to recover? In what have I done today where I'm cheating on myself? What can I do to invite myself back home? You know, and not judge myself when I fall. Like, just, no, it doesn't matter. Now, I just became aware this second. Now I can make a different choice, or now I can recover. Mm.
Yeah.
We're about to round off this this very cozy chat, ladies.
I had a good time.
Oh my god, I'm so glad that you came here today with me.
I had a very good time, actually. Yeah, I'm a bit tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think, I had a good time.
Mm. Is there something you want to add, or what do you want to round this conversation off with?
I'm just glad I got to do it, I guess. Doing new things.
Trying out new things. Yeah. Is it first time you are sending podcast radio? Yeah. So how was it? Was it more nervous than you thought? You were super cool in the car.
In the car I was super cool.
We were freaking out.
Yeah. I was super. No, I don't have any nerves. It's gonna be fine. But then when I sat here, I felt myself overthinking a bit. But
easily happens.
Yeah. Mm. Well, the nerves kicked in. But I guess no, it's kind of calmed down along the way. Mm-hmm. Felt like we had a good chat. Yeah. Mm.
What has been the highlights for you, Anna? What do you take with you from this conversation?
Getting input from other people and being able to explore together and actually taking in what you are saying and considering it. Maybe I should do that, or think so, because very often I'm in my space and my way is the right way. Mm-hmm. So I'm grateful that I had the capability just sitting here and taking in what you guys talked about, because sometimes I have to be the listener. And that feels good when you listen fully. And I'm really mad that I took this shirt.
It's beautiful.
Yes, but I would be so much more comfortable with my body language if this wasn't slipping.
I'm actually enjoying it a lot, Miss Anna. So I
think it's fine.
I think, you know, what I'm gonna take with me today. I'm landing in a very personal, like a personal reflection about, you know, just the fact how this happened and how we ended up sitting here, the three of us, and how we ended up yesterday meeting each other, you know, and all of this.
Singing to Frozen.
And and Spice Girls and all this. But I want to welcome, you know, other people into my home. I want to open the doors. I want to connect with more people and invite more people. Allow myself to invite more people into my life. And and maybe not... this is the wrong time to be saying that, not be so much at home. But you know, even
as soon as this passes,
it doesn't have to be physical. Like, I've been calling some friends lately. I've decided, you know, I want to be better at calling my friends and talk. You know, really, like, how are you? I'm so bad at this. Keeping contact with phone and people that maybe is not living here. It's hard. So I'm taking this one with me, the feeling of being grounded in myself, and that I want to be me, and I want to meet people where they are. Yeah, a reminder. Yay! Welcome home, guys.
Welcome home.
Welcome home to you. Is that it, Stella? Yeah. We are still on. Yeah, we're still on.
Let's talk some more then.
No. Yeah, we're still on. Oh, we're still on.
Maybe you should say goodbye.
Yeah.
Maybe we should say goodbye.
Thank you.
It's been a lovely chat, and for those of you who have listened, Thank you for listening. And I was about to say see you guys tomorrow. Maybe we'll see. You never know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe we spontaneously show up again. Yeah. Have a nice day, guys.
Bye.
We are creating the world we're now living in. We are competing in. We are repeating in. We are believing in. It's time for us to shift our mind from best in the world to best for the world. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. It creates a new world to mind a shift, intentionality, perceptuality, conceptuality. We are choosing to shift our mind to best for the world, best for our world. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional.